Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. We had a budget work session prior to this meeting and an executive session where we covered personnel matters. We will be moving on to public comment on agenda items only. Would anybody like to speak at this time? Seeing none.
Just for the purpose of the agenda, Madam Chairman, that the first item of presentations is off the agenda for tonight.
That is correct. Thank you. Announcements. The next regular meeting of the Board of Supervisors will be held on Tuesday, October 15th at 7 p.m. The Doylestown Township Board of Supervisors and Finance Committee will hold two budget work sessions next month, Tuesday, October 1st at 5 p.m. and Tuesday, October 15th at 5 p.m. The Doylestown Township Municipal Building will be closed on Monday, October 14th in observance of Columbus Day or Indigenous Peoples Day. Help make the new bathrooms at Central Park a reality. We just had a great discussion about them today at our budget work session. A resident has generously donated $25,000 for our bathroom project. We would love to be able to match that with other donations. Please go on doylestownpa.org and find the donation link there. Doylestown Township annual golf outing will be October 7th on Monday at Commonwealth National Golf Club. Golfer entry is full, with the exception of one $3,000 reception sponsorship, which includes a foursome. Additional sponsor opportunities are still available, including two 1,500 reception sponsorships, 6 supporting sponsorships at $500, and a general whole sponsorship at $250. All proceeds will benefit the current Central Park Improvement Project, the Community Rec Center, the new courts, and the bathrooms. Moving on to minutes approval. Has everybody had an opportunity to read the minutes?
Yes.
Yep.
Move for the approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Correspondence. So the first is Chris Benio submitted his resignation for the LTAC.
Move that we accept the resignation.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We also received a special event waiver request from CB Cares for the Pumpkin Fest at the Tile Works. That's October 26th through the 27th this year. They have not had any waiver requests for 2024. It has been the board's policy to waive $1,000 for nonprofits. I would like to hear from the board.
I'll make that motion to approve, but I want to correct the agenda. It should be BC Cares, not CB Cares.
Correct, yeah, thank you.
BC Cares,
Cares,
not
yeah.
CB Cares.
I'll
Bucks
second.
County Cares, sorry.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Moving on to report, solicitor.
Thank you. We have one item for action this evening. It is the Barn Plaza Development Escrow Agreement and Stormwater Agreement. The agreement that the board has in its packet has been updated to include an updated professional escrow amount and also some adjustments to the performance security. In addition, there are a couple of minor changes, minor corrections that were sent to us late last week from the applicant, but these are essentially what you have in front of you is what will be approved, or if you approve them, and they're ready for action this evening.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Township engineer?
Nothing to add tonight.
Chief?
Nothing to report. Thank you.
Thank you. Director of Operations.
Hey, good evening. My first item is the Swamp Road Traffic Signal Upgrade Green Light Go Grant Award Recommendation. This project is a Green Light Go grant from PennDOT. It's an 80-20 match. We're responsible for 20% of the project. The project was publicly advertised and bid on Penn Bid on September 11th. One bid was received. It was Armor and Sons Electric Incorporated for the bid amount of $588,172. I've asked, this has been looked at and reviewed by Pannoni. There's a recommendation to award it to Armor. I'm asking for the board's approval.
All right, any questions? Okay, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay,
The next item is the Community Recreation Center. Water service acknowledgement. As part of our procedures for the Community Recreation Center, if we have items that need to be approved ahead of time that will impact schedule and scope of the project, we have the authority to request that to the chair and the vice chair as being part of the building committee. So basically, we had a proposal that came in for the water service being $5,778.08. That is from L&B Water Service. I had asked for that approval, and that was done. So I guess I'm just asking for the board's acknowledgement that that was approved by the chair and vice chair as part of the building committee.
all right. It's
I'll make a motion to approve.
So moved.
I don't think we need a
Yeah, we
motion,
do.
do we?
Yeah.
Okay,
Ratified. Yeah.
Just acknowledging it.
okay. All in favor?
Okay.
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we got it.
Aye.
Okay, the second item for the Community Recreation Center is the purchase of a piece of equipment as a Terra 4 CI digital audio-video switching system. This was an item that we need to purchase for the AV system for the Community Recreation Center. Mr. Evenbach, as chair of the TAB, had reviewed this and made the recommendation that we purchase this. AVT, Advanced Video Technologies, did provide us with a quote, and they discounted the item 50%. So I'm asking for the board's approval to approve AVT Applied Video Technologies change order number 1 for $1,289 for the purchase of equipment. Please.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next item is Chapman Road Bridge item. So as you know, we've received a grant for the replacement of the bridge for 100% of the construction. We, as the project sponsor, have to, through the PennDOT ECMS system, advertise for construction inspection services, and that is for basically request for qualifications to select an inspector. Inspection will be paid 100% by PennDOT. However, we have to do some paperwork. The first is basically acknowledging that PennDOT's policies and procedures for consultant selection form. So that has to be approved by the board and signed off on for that. That requires us to follow the procedures, nominate or appoint a committee, which would be myself, Stephanie as the manager, and Andrea as the vice assistant manager, to review the proposals that come in and then basically make a recommendation to PennDOT for a selection. So I'm asking for the board's approval of the consultant selection agreement form.
I move that Stephanie and the system manager be authorized to sign that contract for a consultant. Is that what we're doing?
That's for the consultant. We just need to authorize the a signature of the form.
Okay, that's what I said.
And I'm
Authorize
also on
the
that
signature.
committee as well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I'll
So
second that.
I have a motion to authorize Stephanie, Andrea, and Dave
Dave,
to,
yeah, sorry.
to sign the contract for,
No, hold on, I'm sorry. That's for basically us to be the committee for the township that selects, reviews the proposals that come in, request for qualifications, and make a recommendation to PennDOT to award the construction inspection contract.
So moved.
Okay.
all right, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, the second item, piece to the Chapman Road Bridges, a resolution authorizing Stephanie as the township manager to electronically sign the grant agreement that we received from PennDOT.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Don't like my conflagrations there?
I appreciate that. Next item I think I have is the Central Park bathrooms, which I'd indicated to the board via email that I would be tabling this, requesting to table this item.
Okay, do I have a motion to table?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, but I do want to add that, just because we're tabling does not mean the discussions aren't happening. We had a very lengthy discussion about bathrooms, but prior to this meeting.
Budget work session.
And one more final item that is not on the agenda, and I will defer to Mr. Clark and as well as Stephanie to make sure I get this right. As part of the 2024 Bike Hike Trail maintenance contract, which the board approved, we were notified today that there is a change to a change order coming in order to keep the project moving forward. I'm asking that the board acknowledge that there is a change coming and that at the next board meeting, you will review and consider that change order. It is for approximately $9,000
Which trail?
for the bike hike trail at, on Turk and Rolling Hill Boulevard, which is currently under construction.
Thank-
Okay, so I'm asking for the board's acknowledgement that, that the contractor can move forward. The contractor has agreed to basically move forward with, in a good faith effort to do the work, pending our approval of the final approval of the change order next month. If I got that right, I'm asking for the board to acknowledge that.
You got that right.
Thank you.
This matter has arisen within the last 24 hours. In the past, we would have simply amended the agenda and added it to tonight's agenda. The amendments to the Sunshine Act and the clarifications from the Commonwealth Court in a 2023 case make it clear that we are not allowed to amend the agenda. Mr. Tomko needs to be able to tell the contractor whether or not to move forward. So if there are any objections to Mr. Tomko telling the contractor to move forward, we should discuss them now. If there aren't any objections, Mr. Tomko will tell them to move forward, and the change order will be on the October agenda.
I have no objections.
No objections. Okay.
No objections. Can I just ask why there was the $9,000 increase?
Well, Mr. Torpey's here, so he can answer that question, sure. Yep.
This is a section of the trail that we thought we would be able to just scratch it and put some new paving down. And when we went to scratch it, we realized that the original trail was installed with just a real thin layer of stone and a real thin layer of asphalt. So it doesn't have the correct township design that we like to have for the bike hike trail. So it wouldn't last the way that we're designing these new improvements to last. So we had to do some additional repair to this section.
You mentioned there were some years, I believe, on this trail already. Is that correct? That
Yes,
this
I
trail's been
understand.
installed for like 30 years, I believe you said?
This section of trail on Rolling Hill Boulevard and in front of Turk is the oldest sections, so probably 25-plus years old. Correct.
Thank you.
That's all I have. Thank you very much.
All right, Township Manager.
Yes, I have the memo regarding the 2025 budget work session schedule. Typically, we meet in April, but the Finance Department is recommending that we push that off until June and continue from there. I've also had a consideration in order to give more time to extend the budget work sessions separate from the Board of Supervisors. So instead of them doing 2 hours before the board meeting, we would try to pick the first Tuesday of the month from 5 to 7. That would be in the June and September, as well as the October is the only one where we would have 2 meetings, both the first as well as right before on the, usually the 3rd Tuesday of the month. That is what the proposal is, and that is what's reflected on the calendar, which has been highlighted. The calendar itself shows proposed times for the reorganization meeting at 6, regular board meetings at 7, with the dates and days when the board won't be meeting due to things like holidays, primary election, et cetera, as well as the budget work sessions as proposed, and holidays and when the board is at PSATs.
Excuse me, don't we usually approve these at, excuse me, reorganization or before?
You do,
End of year?
but this is how we build the calendar. And if we have consensus from the board that this is the okay at this point in time for the calendar, we will start to build that going forward.
My only concern, sorry, excuse me, is having a budget meeting on Tuesday following Labor Day. think it's going to be very difficult for people to attend time vacations. I will be here, but I think that's a very difficult time to have a 2-hour budget session meeting.
Right. I mean, we could double that up if the board so chooses, or we could pick another day if that works for the board. But the idea was to try to separate
Okay.
and give a little bit more time.
Do we have to vote this tonight?
Not completely, but we will need to know, this is the draft, where we're kind of heading. I guess the question is the board okay with separating out and having the budget from the
Yeah.
meeting? So you're not
Excuse me.
rushed
Again,
like this
I
evening?
am, but I just have caution about that Tuesday that's.
We will note Labor Day and see what we can,
Leave this, and then
Okay.
and then
for September, we can work on that.
Okay,
My only nitpick is, it's just a coloring thing for October 21st. If we can just mark somewhere, either on the side or on the calendar itself, that that is both a budget work session and a township meeting day.
yeah.
nitpicking.
I like colors and organization.
Are we doing one less meeting now as a result of doing these 2 hours?
No.
Is it one less?
No, you're only not doing April, but you'll still be doing June, and then you'll have a meeting in September, as well as 2 in October.
And if I'm correct, it is one less, but they're longer meetings, so we're not actually losing time.
Because you won't have to rush. We're trying to get it so you don't
And I
have to rush.
appreciate that very much. I
Yeah.
agree, 2 hours is much smarter.
Yeah, I think, I agree. I prefer to have more time and more flexibility in our budget work sessions, so we're not rushing and against the clock. And the April meeting is usually one that we go over the prior year's information, and there's a couple reasons why we wouldn't necessarily need that. And one is the audit timing, but another is we could get, that's one of those things, that people say, this meeting could have been an email. It's one of those things, they can give us information, and we could be, we would be able to have that, so. Is everybody comfortable with this? Can we, aside from the day after Labor Day?
Yep.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
Okay.
I think
And that's all I have.
that's everything for Sophie. All right, supervisors. Nancy, would you like to go first?
Sure. Going to keep it short because there's a lot going on tonight and lots of good things to celebrate. Just want to thank the Finance Committee. The township is working very hard on their budget, and we're looking at financing our bond to continue the Community Rec Center project. As you can see, it's really going to be beautiful. But it is concerning, and I just ask the board to continue to be mindful as we move forward on the rest of our budgeting process, which I know they will be. Other than that, just want to say thanks to the Park and Rec for the continued concerts. There's some great things coming up this week with the concert as well as the food trucks.
Dan?
All right. First up, I'd like to thank the police I saw at Doylestown Arts Fest past weekend, 2 weekends ago. Seeing our police out there helping out is always nice, and getting to talk with some of them, the ones that I know. And I also want to point out that today is National Voter Registration Day. You may have heard there's a big election coming up this year. You may be tired of hearing about it, but you can also check and make sure you're registered to vote in it. The best way in Pennsylvania is to go to vote.pa.gov. You can check your voter registration, or if you need to, change your address, change your party, ask for mail-in ballot, all those fun things there. That's all I've got.
Barbara, would you like to go next?
Sure, and I would like to thank our police officers who have shown and been supportive and at every one of our concerts this summer. So thank you, guys. And it's fun because they walk around and everybody really likes it. Little kids like to talk to them. It's amazing. So thank you to our police officers in Doylestown Township for being at our concert series. And Chris Sustengoose is here. He's chairman of our Veterans Advisory Committee, and he proposes, everybody knows about the new roundabout, Sowerman Road. It's working really well, right? So he proposes that we work with PennDOT to have that area marked in honor of our Gold Star and Blue Star families. So, Chris, if you want to elaborate, but I think what we're going to do is try and start that process, if the board is okay with that, to see what's all involved.
Just to clarify from our packet, we can't do that ourselves, but we can work with PennDOT to get that done. So that's what we'll be doing.
Actually-
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I
Yeah,
understood.
we can't do it ourselves.
Right.
We actually have to engage our legislators as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually a fairly extensive process based on the information that we received. But I appreciate that, and, I appreciate any community member coming forward and offering us these opportunities to express our appreciation.
Do we have consensus on that? So
So what would that, so I'll make that motion to,
I think we just.
or is
need
there any
consensus.
motion?
Deferred.
Yeah,
Just if everybody likes the idea.
I like the idea.
Okay,
That's
thanks.
great, thank you.
Good, thank you.
And Judy?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to just read a memo briefly regarding the EAC, along with myself, hosting a roundtable on EV charging and good EV parking etiquette. So back on June 11th of this year, we, the Board of Supervisors, enacted Ordinance 424 to, and I'll quote, proactively plan for and accommodate the anticipated future growth in market demand for electric vehicles. Applicants of a subdivision of land development permit of any use with parking areas of 25 or more spaces shall address the sitting of electric vehicle charging station and/or electric vehicle-ready infrastructure as part of the proposed project. So we mandated that you have to put in EV chargings if you're going to have more than 25 spaces or more. So, but as an EV owner, I've found charging my electric vehicle to be difficult when people park, not charge, at an EV charging stations. Others agree. In conjunction with the Environmental Advisory Council, I am requesting that my fellow board members approve of the EAC and myself to meet with local businesses in order to compile a list of recommendations to best accommodate EV parking to meet the EV parking requirement. This would include tips on where to install EV chargers and other options available to assure maximum usage of the charger and to minimize people parking their vehicles at the charging station. The recommendations would be formulated with the business community, getting their input. The entities we would be inviting to join us would include our local college, hospital, shopping centers, schools, business campuses, apartments, and anyone else who might have an interest. We would also be exploring publishing a community guideline on good EV charging etiquette. Any policies or recommendations that we would come up with would have to still be approved by the board. So tonight's approval is just to start the process of developing any such guideline.
Does that need to be a motion, or can it be just consensus?
I believe it's just consensus.
Okay. I agree. Okay.
Go forward.
Judy, you're looking to really just gain consensus with the community. It's not mandating or telling when they have to pay for something or put just so anyone in the public understands. They're not telling them they have to put the charger in, but start to give guidelines and help them understand, as you said, the etiquette, accessibility, and the importance.
Well, the ordinance 424 did say if you were building a new development.
Right.
Right. But otherwise, yes.
I'm talking for current,
Yes, so
current
they don't
businesses.
necessarily have to follow these guidelines. It's just guidelines because as an EV user, I know that people don't always put the EV chargers in the right spots or have a timing mechanism on them such that people, can park there for 3 days and then it's not used. So this is just kind of to make best practices available for people to think about.
I would just ask this group to document who you speak to and what the feedback was so that we have record of that.
We could take meeting minutes for sure.
Thank you so much.
All right. I believe that's all the supervisors aside from me, and I don't have any comments at this time. So we'll move on to unfinished business, the 2024 Community Recreation Center and Park Improvement Project bond borrowing.
Right, and we have representatives, Anne Marie Dobson, our Assistant Finance Director, is here, and she will present the numbers that we would be seeking for the additional bond. Thank you.
Thank you. In
hours ago. So we're asking that the bond amount be 3.1 to finish the community rec center and the additional capital projects that we discussed. Something else that the board takes into consideration is refinancing the 2023 note that you spoke with Jamie about from PFM. She discussed the savings of 57,000. So I just need to know if the board would like to roll that into this bond as well.
I think that's a good idea, but I can't speak for everybody.
I agree.
Yes, I agree.
Agreed.
So you need a motion to approve $3.1 million to bond
And the
and
refinance.
I'm sorry, Emery, say it again. So it's 3.1,
To finish the CRC
the current project,
with the additional capital projects that we discussed at the budget work session.
okay? And we're rolling that into what our bond was last year.
This is a new bond. This will be the 2024 bond. And the 2023 note was for the accelerated road program. What Jamie had presented at the last board meeting was that she found that if we rolled it all in together, that there would be savings.
Okay, I like savings.
Okay. I'm looking for a motion on that.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So new business, land development, 45 Sourman Road.
Is Mr. Hoger still here? Okay, if you could go to the microphone, yeah. That would be great.
Can you speak into the microphone?
Yep. Hi, everyone.
You can raise it so you don't have to speak. There you go.
If you could just tell us a little bit about your project and what you're seeking from this evening from the board. This is a final minor subdivision plan that's been submitted. You also have a planning module under Act 537. And then once you tell the board if they have any questions, they'll ask you, and then I'll briefly go over the approval resolution with the 2 additional waiver requests.
Okay, sounds good. Our engineer's not here, so I'll try my best to explain it. We purchased the farmhouse on 45 Sourman Road, and we are submitting a 1-lot subdivision for us to build a new house off to the back, for our family. We met with the planning commission a few weeks ago. Everything seemed good. Farmhouse is going to be on 1.3 acres, and then the new lot's going to be 5.5 acres-ish or so.
Board, you have a draft approval resolution in your packet. As I indicated, this will need to be amended to include 2 additional waiver requests. The correspondence contains 18 standard conditions that you are all probably very familiar with seeing, but I'll briefly identify the 5 waiver requests. It is being requested that there be a waiver from Section 153-20C, requiring the plans to identify the location of watercourses, wells, on-site septic systems, stormwater management facilities, and similar features on and within 400 feet of any part of the land to be subdivided or developed. Waiver request number 2 is from Section 153-24B, requiring widening of 4-foot wide shoulder along the property frontage of Sourman Road. The third waiver request is Section 153-25C and D, requiring a bike and hike path along the property frontage of Sourman Road. The fourth waiver is from Section F 153-34H, to be required to provide a landscape conservation plan, and from Section 148-17.A, a partial waiver to be required to reduce the 2-year after development peak flow rate to the 1-year storm pre-development peak flow rate. The criteria for all other storms are met, as well as the NPDES criteria.
Have the compliance letters all been met, conditional for the approval? all the compliance measures have been met?
Yes.
So you're looking for approval of the final and minor subdivision with the waiver of those 5, or those 5 waivers?
Correct.
So moved.
Have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. And the next is the planning module.
Move for the approval of the planning module that goes with this property.
Yes.
Yep.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I think you're good.
Great, thank you so much.
so much.
You don't need any stinging engineer.
All right. Next, we have 33 Nail Drive.
Is anybody here?
Yes, Mr. Murphy is here representing Mr. County Builders.
Good evening. Here tonight to continue a conversation that, believe it or not, started almost 3 years ago. Our first staff meeting on this property was October 15th of 2021. Since then, we've had a long odyssey of different ideas for how this site might be redeveloped. We've had multiple meetings with the Neal Drive neighbors. Most recently, we were in front of this board who recommended we go back through with a formal ordinance draft to meet with your planning commission, which we've done twice, and now back tonight following a favorable recommendation from your planning commission. We've submitted a draft of a proposed ordinance, which has been reviewed and commented upon by staff. Tonight is, if you're available to do it, tonight is only to authorize the advertisement of the draft ordinance for future consideration at a subsequent meeting. So I understand. We can go through a longer presentation, but I don't think, given tonight's agenda, that you're looking to do that, and it's more of a administrative item tonight.
Yeah, I move for the approval that we advertise the draft ordinance for the 33 Neal Drive property, which is known as a village carriage home, correct?
Right.
Is that the draft ordinance? The additional to the,
Do you have a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
yeah, what is the village, what is it?
Fountainville?
What is it? The village property?
Fountainville Village.
No, I know that, but what is the, I'm sorry, I just lost my place. What is it, what is the addition you want to add? It's a village
What
something?
we're asking is that we create an overlay in the district to
Right.
allow for this multifamily townhome type project.
And, oh, that's it, village carriage home. How is that different than like a townhome or something else? Because it's
It's
located
not.
in the village? Oh, it's just a fancy name for a townhouse?
Right.
Okay.
It's just in the village, and we're
Gotcha.
calling it that, but it's no.
Okay, thank you for the
Different
clarification.
name, same thing.
Thank you.
I was at that meeting when you spoke, and it may or not apply to this resolution, but one of my concerns with this is that if we're creating this more dense housing, that there's areas for recreation. So the neighbors expressed that they wanted to work with you. I think they were happy to see neighbors coming in rather than maybe a business, and I know you've worked hard with them. But one of the things they talked about with that neighborhood was that it is a close-knit group. The neighbors and the kids play in the streets.
Correct.
And when you create that very dense housing where you pull in and the parking's in the center and everybody's around the outside, and all you have is parking lots, we're not, and I believe you said these townhomes were 3-bedroom, you're gonna have a lot of kids and families. And I think that we need to be mindful not to put so many in that we don't allow for that recreational option.
And that
a
density-
parking lot is not a
Right.
recreation.
The
or-
density
nor
has
is a-
dropped almost 50% from what we proposed back in 2021. So
I
I think we're at a
understand, but
right
it's
size
still
now.
doesn't, in my mind, I would like to see some kind of recreational opportunity there.
There is going to be a park-like setting in the center of that project. And so, yes, I think we're sensitive to that. We've talked to the neighbors about it. Neighbors endorsed this particular plan for the reasons you just said.
Exactly.
So I think
I
the
think we're close.
collaboration has been good.
Yeah, I'm not trying to give you a hard time. We're close. I just want to be mindful of that.
Understood. Yep.
So I think there's a motion to approve the advertising of this sort.
Yes, and a second. I'll call the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye? Okay.
Aye.
Thank you
Good.
very much.
Thank you.
All right. The Brooks Tract.
The board has before it tonight an indemnification agreement for the Brooks Track. Essentially, the applicant is requesting temporary certificates of occupancy while they finish the bike and hike trail. The agreement that has been drafted will indemnify the township if there are any issues during construction. And we are making them, the applicant, get a written acknowledgement from the purchasers regarding the construction of the bike and hike trail, so they are aware that it is going in. The indemnification agreement has been reviewed by Mr. Torpy and by my office, and we are both in agreement that it is in a form for the board's consideration this evening.
All right. Is
Well,
there,
I move that we approve the indemnification agreement.
okay. Do I have,
What you're looking for? I think that's what you're looking for, approval of the
Yes,
indemnification.
yes, to approve the indemnification agreement.
So moved.
second?
second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, zoning hearing board.
This is a matter, the application requesting variance to allow detached garage to be placed 15 feet from the side property line where 25 is permitted. I believe that our zoning hearing board is able to handle this matter.
Okay. And treasurer's report?
Move for the approval of the treasurer's report.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Bills list?
I move for the approval of the bills list.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Any public comment on any items, non-agenda, agenda? Okay, so moving on to one of the most bittersweet parts of this process. We would very much like to recognize the work, the years of service, the dedication of our chief, Dean Logan, and express our appreciation. It's my pleasure to present a resolution from the Board of Supervisors to Chief Logan. It reads, whereas Dean Logan was hired as a patrolman in Doylestown Township Police Department on August 3rd, 1987, and whereas Dean Logan served as detective within the Doylestown Township Police Department from October of '91 to March of 2003, and whereas Dean Logan was promoted to sergeant on March 3rd, 2003. And whereas Dean Logan was promoted to lieutenant on June 5th, 2005. Whereas Dean Logan was appointed chief of police November 20th, 2012, supervising a staff of 21 officers and 2 civilian staff members and overseeing an annual budget of over $3 million. And whereas Dean Logan is a graduate of the esteemed FBI National Academy Session 226, member of the Bucks County Chief Police, PA Chiefs of Police Association, and whereas Dean Logan, during his tenure with the department, has directed the department through technology, including the use of social media, the implementation of the department's in-car and body-worn camera systems, the implementation of the department's motor patrol unit in 2017, and was an integral part of the Doylestown Township Building Committee for the newly constructed Township Administration Building and Police Station that you're in right now in 2018. And whereas Dean Logan has encouraged his police officers to taking necessary training to improve their skills in the area of traffic enforcement, criminal investigations, and the advanced training all command level officers. Whereas Dean Logan has dedicated his career to serving and protecting the public and has spent the past 37 years of his life devoted to serving and protecting the residents of Doylestown. Now therefore be it resolved by the Doylestown Township Board of Supervisors that Dean Logan be recognized for his 37 years of service and dedication of the Doylestown Township Police Department and the residents of Doylestown Township, and to his community, our community, duly resolved this day, 17th of September, 2024.
Madam Chairman, I would like to move that the board approve that Township Resolution 2636, recognizing Chief Dean Logan's retirement from the Doylestown Township Police Department.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'd also like to give you this plaque on behalf of the township, recognizing your service. Would you like to step?
Do you want to get the whole board as well? It'll be an up and down kind of evening from here on out.
You know.
We also have recognition from the Congressman's office, the state representative's office, and the state senator's office.
Hi, everybody. My name's Kevin. The congressman apologizes that he can't be here tonight, but we want to recognize the chief for his long years of dedicated service. So we have a flag here that was flown over the Capitol, along with a citation, and then also a copy of the congressional record that was entered on the floor today for you, sir. So this is just a small tribute, again, to the long years of service. We appreciate you, and we hope you enjoy your retirement.
There's more. You're going to have to wait.
Hi, I'm Nancy Adam. Unfortunately, the State Senate is in session, so Senator Santasero could not make it, but he wanted to thank you for your many years of service and to wish you all the best in your retirement. Everybody is jealous. And we brought this citation. You can come closer to me, I won't bite. Citation from the State Senate with a picture. And you are welcome to call our office if you and your family would like to come out and visit the state capitol. I don't know if you've ever been out.
Sorry to say I haven't.
It is beautiful, and I'm sorry, it is nicer than the U.S. Capitol. It is absolutely stunning. But that is for you. And we also flew a state flag over the Capitol in your honor. And just want to wish you many, many happy years of retirement.
Thank you.
Thank you. I didn't get a picture with everybody. I want to get a picture with everybody.
Do you want to do that again?
Yeah.
All right,
I was-
everybody, where's my pen?
Get a glare off the television, so.
You have a beautiful
beautiful background there.
You got more standing to do, Chief.
I'll keep it brief. So unfortunately, Representative Brennan couldn't be here today, but I do have a couple words that he would like to say for you. When someone serves their community day in and day out, it is appropriate on this occasion to recognize this service, even though words don't seem enough. Chief Dean Logan has worked his way to a well-deserved retirement for the many contributions he has made to Doylestown Township. The leadership he has shown as chief for over a decade has been a gift to the community. On behalf of Representative Tim Brennan and the entire 29th Legislative District, we offer our thanks and gratitude for his 37 years of service to the township.
We have a real treat here. We have former police chief Steve White coming. Logan.
Dean, I know this is a night that you've been waiting for. You've really served the township extremely well. I remember when we were doing your initial background check, Dean grew up in Doylestown Borough, went through the Central Bucks schools, went to CB East, played football at CB East, went to Shippensburg University, played football at Shippensburg University. If I remember correctly, you're also a summer policeman down the boardwalk. And I won't go through the dates of all his promotions, but you can tell that in his career he has served in every capacity that the police department could have. And the one thing is that he has served with distinction in each one of the levels. He clearly understood his responsibility, and he did a great job at each one of them. And Dean, he actually is the 6th chief of police in the history of the Doylestown Township Police Department. The department was formed in 1970. The first chief of police was a gentleman by the name of Crawford Maxim. He was hired at the formation of the police department in 1970. The second was Julian Schaefer. He was promoted from within July 1971. Then there was Dale Weatherall, was promoted from within in October 1974. And then Robert Cobb was hired from the outside in November of 1977. And then I was fortunate enough to be promoted from within in 1988 and served until the time that Dean was sworn in as chief. Dean's legacy in the police department is an accredited police department composed of high-quality officers in a modern, large-capacity building that in every aspect was built to meet the strict standards of the Pennsylvania Law Enforcement Accreditation Program. To this date, there are 138 accredited police departments across Pennsylvania out of more than 1,500 law enforcement agencies. So what Dean has accomplished is really a really great thing, not only for Doylestown Township, but for him and his leadership. Dean has done many things really well, and as he steps away in retirement, Dean deserves to have a lot of satisfaction. We are all really proud of Dean and all that he has done for Doylestown Township, for the Board of Supervisors, for the Township Manager, but most importantly, for the members of the Doylestown Township Police Department, or most of them are here. When you dedicate your life for this many years to serve in a law enforcement agency 24 hours a day and do it with the distinction that Dean has, I am very grateful, even though I've been retired for a number of years, I'm very grateful that Dean has served extremely well, and I'm very proud of the job that he has done and how he has made this a well-respected, accredited agency. So, Dean, congratulations.
Now we'll have Stephanie Mason speaking on behalf of Dean Logan.
Thank you. It is an honor and a privilege as Township Manager to have served with Chief Logan since his appointment in August of 1987. I came in April, so the two of us have worked together, watching each other grow in our careers for a long time. But tonight I'm here to represent all of the non-uniformed employees and present you with a token from the township, as well as a card recognizing your years of service. And all of us on the non-uniform side who've worked with you have enjoyed every minute, and we wish you all of the best. All of them.
Next, we have representatives of the PBA.
Chief, we just wanted to present you with something to hang in your new motorhome.
Yes, can you talk in the microphone?
Just present you something to hang in your new motorhome from the PBA members. From the PBA members, we had this made for you.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Wow.
What roads you're plowing? Are you just looking for like the
One photo, we're not gonna try to be in, right?
All the way here.
Get out of the way. Yeah, run the picture.
I think they can see me back here.
I'm just going to hide. We're just hiding behind you. It's just easier.
All right.
Yes, I do.
Nice. Next, Barbara Lyons, Supervisor Lyons will be coming up.
Hello, everyone. Chief, it's with great pride that I stand here and say how honored I am to have been worked with you for the last 22 years as a member of the Board of Supervisors and also as your Director of Public Safety. You have served several boards and our residents with profound commitment to the motto you embody, to protect and serve, or as you sometimes phrased it, to serve and protect. You have led by example, cultivating a department of officers who will bear your mark of excellence and integrity for years to come. I anticipate you will embrace the next chapter of your life with the same intensity you have embraced serving Doylestown Township, and you will have fun, you will relax, you will enjoy family, and you will enjoy time away in far places. We will miss your presence, your smile, and the way you used to just pop into any conversation that was going on. We wish you a retirement filled with joy, good health, and adventure. You have set a fine example of leadership for those who follow you. For this, we are very grateful. We will miss you. I will miss you. And now, Lieutenant.
Good evening, members of the Doylestown Township Board of Supervisors and everyone in attendance for Chief Logan this evening. I would like to offer a few remarks, and I assure you they will be brief. First and foremost, the entire Doylestown Township Police Department, I extend our heartfelt gratitude. Your impact on both the township and this department during your tenure has been significant. You have advanced our capabilities in technology and played a pivotal role in the development of our new police station and this township building in 2018. I would also like to express my personal appreciation for the training and support you provided as I progressed through the ranks, from sergeant to lieutenant, and most recently, your efforts to assist in becoming your successor as the chief of police. Your guidance has been invaluable, and could not have achieved this without your support. You have equipped us with the necessary tools for success, and I am confident that we will continue to build upon the solid foundation that you have established. Lastly, all members of the police department wish you a long and fulfilling retirement. I proudly wish you the best of luck, and we will take it from here.
Aw.
Thank you. I guess for those of you who don't really know me, you know this isn't me. This is just unbelievable. I stand here tonight filled with a mix of emotions. 37 years that began in 1987 as a young kid out of college. It's been an incredible journey. One that I'm immensely proud of. As stated earlier, I began as a patrol officer, and over the years, I've had the honor of holding every position within the department: patrolman, detective, detective corporal, patrol sergeant, lieutenant, and chief of police for the past 12 years. I would have never thought. Each position taught me something valuable and the skills to succeed. I'd like to extend a special thanks to our elected officials, both past and present, for your support, including Ryan Mannion, Ken Snyder, and especially Barbara Lyons, for your unwavering support and belief in me. I believe that we made a good team and worked well together. Special thanks to Stephanie Mason and the entire administrative staff. Paul Garr, Dan Markloff, Rick Shea, and the entire Public Works Department. Your dedication, hard work, and assistance provided to the police department was noticed and always appreciated. Many of you are not aware, and Chief White touched on it briefly, we are a young department. We were formed in 1970. There's only a total of 89 of us that can call ourselves officers. I've had the pleasure of working with 62 of them. That's a pretty good percentage. It would be hard to thank everyone individually, but I would like to recognize a few of them. The past officers. Chief White, thank you for teaching me discipline and accountability. I remember the first time I got the dreaded chief's message, "Can I see you in my office?" The message we always dreaded. It's still there today. The message was simple. Steve stated to me, "I did not choose to discipline you. You chose to be disciplined by your actions." That holds true. Thank you to the late Frank Dunlap, who taught me persistence and to never give up while giving me the freedom to try new things. To Sergeant Bill Sutton for instilling that everyone needed to be treated fairly, but not necessarily equal, because we all have our personal histories, and they're usually different. Detective Corporal Frank Bohanec for teaching me how to juggle all the patrol functions and criminal investigations well before the department had a dedicated investigative unit. He had the gift of gab and the uncanny ability to get people to talk. We often lose that today, and we need to keep communications alive. Each of them had a significant impact in my career during the early years, and their guidance and mentorship was invaluable. You often hear the term brotherhood when speaking about law enforcement family. The reasons are simple. We are a unique family made up of 100% adults. Under most circumstances, that may sound like a disaster. We find ourselves spending 8 to 12 hours a day with each other. During that time, we have had many good times and created memories of a lifetime, all while witnessing some unimaginable things which create a special bond between us. We have laughed, we have argued, and we've managed to make up and move on. If I am honest, I would say that I was a leader who lived by the motto, an honest day's work for an honest day's pay. I did not hesitate to make the difficult and oftentimes unpopular decision while keeping the best interests of the township in mind. As I've always said, this is not about me. This department is capable of running itself. And I'd like to take a moment to recognize our current staff, who is the future. Our non-uniform support staff, Holly Dodson, my administrative assistant, Barbara Lutz, Liz Leone, Karen Edwards, and Gian Luiso. And I would be remiss not to recognize our surrogate mother, Janet Casey. Our uniform officers, Lieutenant Chuck Ziegler, Sergeant Scott Jones, Jeff Stitch, Sean McGee, and Jessica Whiteside. Detective Corporal Chris Power, Detectives Bill McCrisky and Corey Carabello. Patrol officers Brian Maloney, Patrick Furlong, Matt Hershowitz, Tim Reel, Joe Zucchero, Jared Quartz, Alex Weldy, Dan Carr, Chris O'Connor, Brandon Silabroto, Brett Iannona. How'd I do? Brenna Kyle, Desiree Freitag, and Caleb Johnson. I'd like to personally thank you. You have managed to tolerate me and my approach. Your commitment and dedication are truly inspiring. Please know that I cared, and you will be missed. I'd also deeply grateful for the support of my family and friends, many of which are here, especially my wife, Diane. Her strength and encouragement has helped guide me through difficult times. When I may have doubted myself at various times over the past 12 years while serving as Chief of Police. Thank you, Diane. To the residents, thank you for your support given to the department. Please remember that our officers sacrifice a lot to keep your community safe. When you have an opportunity to speak with an officer, let them know that they are appreciated. And I also encourage you to continue to hold us accountable so that we can continue to strive to be the best we can. As I step away, the only legacy I hope to leave behind is one of dedication, hard work, and commitment to the Doylestown Township community, which I hope can be a stepping stone for bigger things to come. It's been an honor to serve, and I'm confident the future holds great things for our community and the police department under the new leadership of Chief Charles Ziegler. Thank you.
Now we're going to do Chief Logan's final radio call.
Channel Carson Station, stand by for a special announcement from the Doylestown Township Police Department and Bucks County Department of Emergency Communications. Bucks County All Carson Stations, on behalf of the Doylestown Township Police Department and Bucks County Department of Emergency Communications, we would like to congratulate Chief Dean Logan on his retirement from the Doylestown Township Police Department after a 37-year career serving its residents. During Chief Logan's 37-plus years with the Doylestown Township, he has always enjoyed working with all the other officers in the department. Chief Logan was always there to support the members of the police department and provided them with his experience when they needed it. With great respect and gratitude, the Doylestown Township Police Department wishes you a long and healthy retirement, and we say thank you for your service and everything that you have given to this department and to the residents of Doylestown Township. On this date, Chief Dean Logan, batch number 187, will be signing off radio with this department for the last time. We wish you health and happiness in all future endeavors. Good luck and Godspeed, Chief Logan. At 20:04 hours, WQLI 324, dispatcher 576.
#29C to Bucks County. Thanks for your support over the years.
Congratulations, Chief.
Everyone, please join us for cake and champagne back.
And this official meeting has been adjourned.
Meeting adjourned.
8:06 PM.